She also did crocheted kind of vessels, floor to ceiling. A lot of Ruth Asawa's were components inside of them also. Um,
Mm.
so that was actually really great to see that exhibit.
I've done a little bit of wire crochet. It's very difficult on the hands
Oh,
because
I
of the
guess it would,
pressure.
and
But I don't know
it's
if I've been using thinner wire or silver wire is a little easier because
well,
before,
fine silver would be a lot easier because it's so
yeah,
soft.
that's what I
Um,
did it with. I made a couple of amulet bags and so on with it, but
oh,
that was when silver was $6 an ounce,
yeah, it's like 44 today.
something like
Yeah, I
So
that.
saw that.
yeah, it's just, and gold is 37. I mean,
And
it's
change.
just insane. It's,
They're saying it's going to go up to 5,000.
but they always say that, so nobody knows really. I mean, it's
That's
just
true.
stupid. It's so stupid that it keeps going up. It's like and then people start investing in it now, and then it drops, and they're totally screwed. I mean, I think as long as I don't really understand why people are buying gold now. It's kind of something that was this thing that people thought they should invest in when economies are not doing well. But, you know, we no longer live in a gold standard, so it really doesn't make sense. And gold is finite as opposed to, the greenback. So it doesn't make
Nin-
sense.
1970 something, it went up to gold standard, and it was $35 an ounce forever till then.
Uh,
Yeah.
well, I could tell you in 2001, it was about $279 an ounce, and I knew it was cheap then, but Um, I, I couldn't buy any at the time except what I was using. Um,
What happened out
Now,
here
on the
now?
other hand, there's an incentive I mean, I tell my customers they could trade in their gold for credit and, and then I send it to a refiner, but, I would obviously need to get the material to make what they want. But still, that's an option for today.
That's
Well,
pretty cool.
the
Pay in
real
advance for the
preppers are,
metals.
yeah, it's food that you should be, and ammo that you should be hoarding, not gold, because you can't eat it.
Wait, I didn't quite fully hear what you said.
I said the real preppers are saying don't buy gold, buy like storable food and ammo
Uh-huh.
because you can't eat the gold.
Right. And they might not know how to make it because you could make your own. I mean,
Well,
as a as a
some
metalsmith.
well, you still can't eat it.
No, no, you can't eat it. It's very, very true.
So,
Yeah.
and all the
And
gold in the world won't buy you food if there's no food.
right, exactly. Better to have an oxen or a cow anyway.
I don't know.
Chickens, yeah. Something popped
Yep.
up on my YouTube about uh, chickens for prepping or something like that.
Oh, really?
I don't eat much cow these days.
Well, the price is getting awfully bad, even in a cattle raising state. I think California actually has more beef than Texas.
Ah, wouldn't be surprised. Well, a long time ago, I found that New Mexico only uses, because water is another concern, right? I
Yeah,
mean, New Mexico only uses 4% of the Colorado River, so not like
I know
Nevada
California.
for, yeah. And California got the rights, I think, first. So,
Yeah, well, California is using it mostly for agriculture, at least. Las Vegas is using it for fountains, and well, Nevada's using it for fountains in Las Vegas.
right, right. And building and all that. I mean,
Yeah, but
so, but
they're having humidity problems there in Las Vegas from
uh,
all the fountains.
oh, interesting.
Doesn't it get recycled?
Yeah,
It
but it
goes,
evaporates. You spray it up in the air and like, half of it
well,
evaporates before it
Right.
goes back
it
down.
evaporates wherever it is.
I
So,
know, but if you're throwing it up in the air, it evaporates faster and then they pull more water from, you know,
do you know that for sure?
yeah, they've done studies on, how much is actually used.
Uh-huh.
And the recycling doesn't match what's using by
Oh,
a long shot.
oh,
And they're starting to have things molding outside, mildew, and so on.
wow, wow.
Isn't
And
it
that's,
dry in Nevada?
well, not when
Yes.
you have tons of water getting thrown up in the air.
She's saying because of the quantity of fountains, it's actually changing the environment.
I
I mean,
don't know
sort of
about
like
that.
sort of like Phoenix. Phoenix was a place that people
Yeah.
used to go because they had allergies and moved from the East Coast, and then everyone planted green lawns. But I suppose we should talk about art fairs. Applications are starting to open or have opened. I see next week Old Town Art Fair in Cherry Creek open.
Florida shows are closing this week.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Florida, yeah, that's right.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Already got my first invitation. So,
Oh
Woo!
yeah?
yeah,
To where?
Naples, New Year's.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Nothing, nothing I
Well,
want to do.
congratulations.
Thank you. Opposite of Barry. I'm happy.
Hey, listen,
Good.
I'm very happy. I'm doing St. Armand Circle. I knew about that weeks ago.
Did
Oh,
Where's
you,
that?
oh,
It's east of Sarasota.
Oh, okay.
Now we'll
did
just
you,
see
you play? Did you
if we
get a
get,
new studio, Barry?
huh? No, it's been there
You said you were
forever.
looking for a new studio.
Oh, nah, no, but an interesting thing came up. I don't want to go into the details, but um, I'm I'm going to try and not leave till April, which
Ah,
means I can stay here and make my pots for 3 months before I go to Florida.
Good.
I'm going to where am I going? I'm going to St. James Court next week, a
Hmm.
week from this weekend,
Is
and
that
then
Kentucky?
Kentucky, and then
Hmm.
Louisville, and then Nashville. They're two
Hmm.
like sea level shows, maybe B level,
I thought
but
you meant sea level at first, like not at high altitude, but then I thought that
that's
doesn't
right.
make sense.
No, A B C D E,
Actually, they're below sea level.
Ah, well.
Well, I'm not going to say that since I'm going. I'm trying not to say that. But I have been packing my stuff and throwing stuff away like it's been ridiculous. Actually, this place is nice now that I threw away like a bunch of crap. And hey, look at see this? Of course you can't see it.
yeah.
This is this is an 1870 copy. I know this because there's a dedication to somebody in here. 1874, it's Longfellow's poems.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I'm just
you're
finding
saying
stuff
you're
that I
saying you just rediscovered that.
yeah, I'm finding
Yes, I
stuff
got
that
it.
I knew I don't even remember having this, but apparently I have it.
Oh. Wow, 1870. Huh.
Yeah, that's the cool part.
It is.
That Mickey Mantle's rookie card?
When I was a kid, listen, I go over this in my mind. You know how you remember things when you're a kid over and over again? Well, I remember when we moved from some one house to the other house, and there was a box of baseball cards, a shoebox full of baseball cards, and my cousin came over, and I remember my father giving him the box of baseball cards, which I didn't really need because they were pretty much worthless. Uh, Now they're actually worth a lot of money. Those particular cards,
Hmm.
including Mickey Mantle and Ted
Oh,
Williams, you know.
yeah.
But hey, what the hell?
Hey, we all have those.
I
I
know.
remember my father giving a Lionel train set to his brother for his brother's children, and I wanted to save it. And this is like early 1950s.
I still have mine.
That those are
It,
worth something.
I
yeah.
don't know
Well,
what I don't know what happened to mine. I had trains also. I don't know what
yeah, but
happened.
Lionel, they're in like the cards are in the box. At one time, I just looked this up. At one time, because I periodically look at these things, it was $1,000 a car, but now they're not worth nearly as much.
I think those things ebb and flow.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
But mine's from the 50s. So here's another thing I found. Hard to see this, but this is the Ceramics Monthly magazine. It's
Yeah.
February 1996. And on the cover is Tom Radka. You guys know Tom
No.
Potter? I'm going to see him in a couple of weeks.
So you're gonna keep those or I mean, I bet
Actually, I'm going to sell the Ceramics Monthlies and the what else? American Craft. But this one, I'm going to give. I'm bringing it to him. I called him up and said, "Hey Tom, I got that
mhm.
Ceramics Monthly that you were in." He goes, "Hey, can I have it?" He has other copies, but he wants mine. I'd gladly
You
give
know,
it to him.
I don't know that anyone's gonna buy the American Craft. They probably have it digitally
Are
too.
you kidding? Listen, I've been looking at this. There's a
Yeah.
copy. Actually one sold for $15.
Okay.
One magazine. I have that
Right.
same one, and I didn't take it out of the wrap, so it's basically brand new.
Hi, Glenn. How
Uh-huh.
you doing?
I'm gonna sell all mine. I also have.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I've
I
been
was kind of
fine.
a
It's been a
computer
while.
nerd in the 80s and 90s, and I have basically 80s, and I had all these computer magazines, and that's something that people collect, computer files, computer guys, people.
I don't know because it's the technology has changed so much.
Well, that's why they want it. They're
Well,
computer nerds. It's like it's a
yeah.
thing. You know
There's
how
I
some
you
people
know
people
that
what?
are.
collect the old ones.
Yeah, these are old, and
I mean the when I moved, I couldn't even give away my Metalsmith magazines to like a school because they,
yeah,
there's so much room and it is a magazine of record also.
yeah,
But it's digital now. I mean, you could get it digitally. That's the thing.
not the same," said the old timer.
Well,
The
if you
physical
could sell
thing
them,
is,
great. If you could do it, fantastic. I mean, who am I to say? I'm just saying, don't be disappointed if you can't.
well, let me tell you something about eBay. You can you can type something in there, and you can see people that are selling this particular thing that you want to sell. But what you do is there's a thing that says advanced up at the top, and
Mm-hmm.
you click on the thing that says sold. And then the list comes up of actually what's sold and when it's sold and how much it's sold for.
Mm-hmm.
So you know. you know if it's something that the people are buying and where
Right.
they're
I
buying
get
it.
it. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So that's part of it. Because I want to know what to charge.
Right.
I want to see what actually, because some people charge way too much and then some people charge
Right.
way too little,
Right.
you
There's
know.
like price to sell
Yeah,
is the
that's me.
mhm.
Because and the reason is because I want to just get rid of all this stuff.
Right.
I threw away all my slides.
Oh yeah. I think that I gave mine to an artist or I don't remember. I mean I kept like, documents of them, but yeah, I had so many. Oh no, I gave my cassette tapes to an artist. That's what it was. Not my slides.
I remember, I figured, who's got a slide projector these days?
Well, um, I have slide carousels and I could use a projector actually. All of my family photos are on slides
You
and
know,
I was able to digitize them
digitize.
so you could just look on, like I made my sister discs of them. But yeah, I mean, people generally don't have slide projectors now, but they're kind of fun to
I wish I would have known because I had one.
uh-huh.
It was one of the first things I got rid of. I didn't sell it.
So So when my father died, he was prior to that, he was fixing a slide projector and he was an engineer and he knew he fixed things all the time, but there was this one thing he just couldn't figure out. And when we went into his house, the slide projector, it's like the brains of it was all opened and which I think it was kind of funny. And it's not like, I mean, it was just something that I think drove him nuts because he couldn't figure it out.
I think that's really cool. It'd be fun to know
So,
guys like that,
mhm.
people like that.
So are you all finding that prices for everything pretty much have gone up for your work or related to your
Mm,
business?
I
yeah,
can't tell. The materials, I just pay for it.
Uh-huh.
I have a lifetime supply of materials, except for clay, and the clay goes up, and what are you going to do? You just pay for it.
Right. Well, it's the same thing you know, with jewelry. I mean, if I want to stay in business, I'm going to have to pay for it. You could only melt down and roll out so many times. Eventually, you have nothing left.
Jewelry's a lot. It's more important with jewelry because gold and silver.
Mhm.
You're a
And
slave to
then,
that.
and then, there's I have work in a gallery on consignment, right? And that's money. That's like serious money now. Um, I mean, it's always been money, but um, so there's that kind of balance. I don't want to make a whole bunch of stock. I have to have
Yeah, right.
stock. I have plenty of things, but there's like certain basic things I sell, and so I have to keep you can't sell it if you don't have it. Um, but with work on consignment, it's also tricky too, given that gold now is $3,700 an ounce.
I don't see
So,
where you can do consignment. I don't do consignment because the few times that I did, it always turned out badly.
yeah, yeah, this is local. I get what you're saying, and I wasn't really looking for a place, but um, she's nearby, and she pays on time and all that.
That's
So
good.
yeah, yeah. But now I have all this. It's one thing if the work is selling a lot. I mean, it's nice to get a check if you have to. The effort that you made is you made the work and you bring it to them. But then if you
Mhm.
just get a check, that's really nice. But that's
You
not always
can't,
the case.
in your case, you can't have a gazillion things out there because, on
Right, because
consignment.
otherwise I have to continue to make stock. And yeah, it's a tricky sort of thing. Like again, if they're selling regularly, then it does make it easier. But if they're not, and that's impossible to know. So, because there's a gallery that I've worked with, and she's opening a place. This is in Ohio, and I really liked working with her, and I'd like to work with her again. But that means I'm going to have to send her like a dozen pieces. Um, but
That's gonna be
it's
expensive
during,
for you,
yeah, right.
like
But when I
thousands.
send it, it's during a slow time for me. So I don't know. I'll see. But yeah, it's true. Given the price, again, like you don't want to be stuck with so much stock that, and not selling because we could never count on it one way or another. So it's a a tricky kind of situation just in general, and then consignment, of course, means that I have to kind of, just pay for it ahead of time and hope they
Yeah.
sell. So
Did you ever do ACC Baltimore?
I have, yeah, I did it just a couple of times later in time.
Because
Uh,
at one when it's a seller's market,
mhm.
there's a lot of galleries, and you're taking orders. That it was always they would always pay for the work, everybody.
Yes, right.
And
No,
then
I've,
and then when it started to slow down, I had already quit because they raised the booth fees and everything, and they increased the amount of people, and the amount of galleries were starting to decline. So
uh,
I stopped doing it, but I know, and that continued. And I know glass blowers that would have literally, so then it turned out to more of a consignment thing.
right.
The galleries owners took advantage of it. And I know some people that had $100,000 worth of glass out in galleries that they couldn't
Wow.
recover because the galleries went out of business.
Wow. Oh my
No, they
God.
might they might have been able to recover it, and that was
Mhm.
was that the wholesale? I don't know if it was wholesale price or
Mm,
retail, but
right. I
yeah,
mean, the thing is that
I
because my
couldn't do that.
entire career I've mostly sold directly, I'm very sparse
Mhm.
with the galleries, and and they just don't sell my work as well as I do. So, and I did ACC Baltimore, I did wholesale and retail. It wasn't that
Yeah,
long ago. It could have been like
yeah.
2018. And I
Really?
remember meeting somebody, and he said, "I really love your work, but I can't sell it like in that price point they have." So I don't like I'm not the right price point for stores, and my work is not.
Well, I got to
Yeah.
tell you, before the year 2000,
Hmm.
you would have easily sold your work, and they would have bought it, and they would have sold it. It was a totally different. Everything was different.
Yeah.
I
No, I
wish it was like
understand.
that. I wish it was like that. Half my business was wholesale, and it was great. You'd make the
Yeah.
work, you'd sell them 5, 10 pieces, and you'd send it to them. In fact, I have letters,
Hmm.
going through my stuff. For some reason, I kept all this stuff from the 90s, and
Hmm.
I'm looking at the purchase orders and stuff. I don't remember half the galleries that I sold to. It was really weird. But
Uh-huh. Hmm.
anyway, they also after I sent them the work, they sent a few of them sent letters back telling me how much they loved the work that I sent them, and
Oh, that's nice.
I know it was really cool. I had forgotten all about that.
That's
Yeah,
really nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So, do you remember a ceramic artist by the name of Bob Poole?
yeah,
Yeah, he was my neighbor, studio neighbor,
uh-huh,
and he died a couple years ago from cancer.
yeah,
But he ACC had a mentorship program
uh-huh,
where so he had to write something, I wrote something, and if I got it, then he also would get a free booth.
mm-hmm.
And so what's funny is like
That's
we
good.
didn't hang out together or anything, but what we both wrote was amazingly in sync. And and I know one of the people who ended up getting it, I didn't get picked, but like she's not she has not been in business now for like a really, really long time. And people try. being an artist as like a second or third career, and they do it and they might be successful, but it's hard as it's hard work. And
Most of them quit after a while, after not too long, because they go, I didn't know this was this hard to do.
yeah.
Especially doing art fairs, you first you make the work and then you go, well, now what do I do now? You got to go sell it. So,
Well, I know
yeah,
people who've gone out and they bought the tent and all the stuff, and really haven't properly researched the shows,
yeah.
and it really sucks to do all that work and then I don't know, have a zero show, or not what you expected. But
Well,
it's to research the shows is a whole job. I mean, I used to go to all local shows, let's say within an hour away, and I mean you could tell right away,
yeah.
you can get some sense.
Where
And
you want to fit in.
right,
You can
exactly.
fit
And
into that low end market.
right.
Not you, but I
Well,
mean people could.
the first show I ever did, it's kind of fun. Eric and I had moved back east for about 10 months. So it was in Western Massachusetts, and there were literally quilted tissue box covers there.
Hmm.
And the only thing I got was a sunburn.
I love those
Mm.
shows. Um,
But people were nice. I learned a lot, and I didn't have a tent. I just had, yeah, I must have had it. I think maybe I borrowed an umbrella or something. But yeah.
First show I ever did was Flint, Michigan, and and it rained for 2 days, which was great because I had a really bad display. I was not prepared the way I
Uh,
should have been. Um, this guy Bob Carlson, who was a really great ceramic guy, he won Best of
mhm.
Show, and it was $1,000. Now think about
Oh,
that.
wow. Yeah, no, that's
This
a,
whole business is different. It was $1,000 in the 1980s, which would now be
yeah.
3,000 or to $5,000, and that was, I mean, I don't want to whine or complain, but I just say it's a lot different now than it was then, and I have a hard time divorcing myself from the way it was. So
Hmm.
this gets me into trouble. But Allison, I want to thank you for something. Um, I kind of didn't pay much attention because it wasn't me, but you'd be talking about selling at your farmer's market or like on your weekend thing, and
Hmm.
and I kind of I listened it when but I thought, well, I could never do that. But anyway, so I have a friend that
Hmm.
sells bread and bagels, okay,
Yeah.
and I bought that's where I met him. I bought stuff and then he added a grill, so we did now eggs on the bagels,
Hmm.
in addition. And then he brought
Right.
coffee. So now coffee. So I said, "Hey," and I made these coffee mugs, which
Uh-huh.
I took to Ann Arbor. I sold maybe five at Ann Arbor. It wasn't, I just wanted
Hmm.
to test them out. So I said, "Hey, why don't you sell my mugs and give him a cup of coffee, and I'll pay you for the coffee." And he's a really
Hmm.
nice guy, so he
Yeah.
did that. Um, I get a check. I check. I got cash every Saturday. It's only once a
Wow.
week, but every Saturday he brings me cash.
That's fantastic.
Too
So,
bad.
like, how many is he selling
Well,
roughly?
um,
Like a couple of cups or?
okay. Consider this that these were not A plus work for that
Hmm.
were you know
By the
you
way, I
know
want to say what I'm doing is not a farmer's market. It's down the rail from the farmer's market. It's a juried event.
uh-huh
So they jury it once a year, but
hmm
there's, let's say, 80 artists. Only 40 can do it in any given time. Some people only do one a year. But
okay
but the work, like whatever one's opinion of the work is, everybody is required to be the artist who makes the work.
hmm
And
well,
so
it's
so
the
it's
same thing here.
uh
Except it's actually both. It's the farmer's market and then the other. It's in the same area. I mean, it's like, it's all together, but it's separated.
uh-huh.
The artwork is beyond, and it's not your best artist doing it.
Uh,
I don't know what yours is like, but probably. more,
Uh, we have a
where
lot
you
of
are,
we
you probably have more serious buyers, but
well we have a lot, yes, but we also have a lot of artists that used to do the show circuit. Some still do.
okay, all right.
Uh, so I mean, there's a photographer that does it. She just won an award at Plaza. But then, there are people who are, getting up in age and they don't want to travel and they've done all the shows. Um, so there's a lot of that for sure,
Yeah. Well, you're
you
getting,
know.
well, that tells me you're getting a better clientele.
Well, the clientele is happenstance. So, but it's because Santa Fe is this destination.
Mm.
And it depends, it really depends Saturday to Saturday who the clientele are. Like this year is a Chilean wine festival. It brings about $8 million into the city. And I remember from last
Nice.
year, that's a really good clientele. But when it's Zozobra, which is like it's like Burning Man, but it was started over 100 years ago, so it's older than Burning Man. But
Mhm.
like that crowd, you know, it might be good for other people, but my price point, not so much. But that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that would be. Well, the first
Yeah,
weekend, and I didn't think I'd be selling you'd be selling anything. So the
right.
first weekend he comes over with $370.
Oh my
I
God, that's
went,
great.
what? I went, what? What? So since then, it's gone down. It's right in line with the quality of what I had left because I'm not making anything. I'm not doing any work. All I'm doing is cleaning up and throwing stuff away in
But wait,
anticipation of having to leave.
he- here's the thing. I'm gonna guess at that farmer's market, it's the same people who come every week to shop.
Yeah, pretty much. Although,
So that's what makes it a little more difficult,
oh,
right? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know.
Ah,
Because there's a lot of people that come here to vacation. For instance, when it's 90 degrees and 100 degrees everywhere, you can come here and it's 70. So it
Uh-huh.
attracts a certain, there's a
Huh.
lot of people from out of town, and you wouldn't necessarily know that unless you talk to them.
Uh-huh. So fall, would that be a time that people would?
Well, I don't know because it closes, it moves indoors relatively soon, but it's different. There's only a few people that stay later, when
But
it's
is there
cold.
does it go through like the holidays, winter?
No, no.
Oh, I
Here
mean
in
December.
Marquette,
Yeah.
I don't think so. No, it's
I
outdoors,
mean,
so
no, you said some of it goes inside.
yeah, but I don't know how. Yeah, but it could be this week. I mean, it could be. Well, it's not as cold as it could be. Hey, I've been here on this date, and there's been 14 inches of snow on the ground, but
Uh-huh.
but this week it's in the 60s. Same thing with next
Mhm.
week.
But the point is that that could be a time of year also where people might want to buy mugs, over the
Oh.
holidays, especially like two mugs tied with a ribbon and a bag of coffee. I don't know.
Yeah, uh, I don't think Bergie is the tie it in a ribbon, sell a bag of coffee kind of person.
Oh, okay.
It's more
Fair
like
enough.
down to earth, but it's great. I mean, he's a great guy,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's fun. Look at all I care is that I'm selling them.
Yeah.
Listen. You want to know something? I'm almost embarrassed. He's down to maybe there's only five left. So it's cutting it off. But I've been over there, because I go at 9 a.m. on Saturday to get some stuff, spinach and some
Mhm.
things, and
But there's
stuff that
nothing to be embarrassed about. I mean,
no, 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 no. I'm
I
talking
don't know
about the work. I'm talking about the work, not being there.
oh,
But,
well, then maybe, I-
I have a level that I think I don't, I shouldn't go below, but yet
right.
the money, I've been usurped by the money, by the fact that, if he sells them, and listen, I want to get back to, I'd like to make some. In fact, if my plot to stay here till April actually works
Mhm.
out, I'm gonna make, I can make some
Yeah.
this week. So,
Do you have any right there to show us?
no. Well, okay. I do have one.
But it's not one that you like?
I don't like any of the ones he's got.
Well, then make some that you like.
I
Because
don't have
then,
to, I can't do it. I can't, I don't have, there, I have to pack my stuff up. Think about if you had to move your house and your
oh no,
studio.
No, I get
how,
it. I
how long that
when I
would
moved,
take.
I had to still teach online because it was still COVID through March, and we moved mid-April. So I understand that. Like,
Okay.
I had
I,
to keep things up, but yeah.
I'm going to have to admit something to you that I never wanted to admit to or to this group that I never wanted to admit to anybody. I wasn't the greatest cleaner and I was kind of a hoarder, but only certain things. So I had so much junk in here that it's taken me a month to throw away all this stuff and put the rest of the stuff in boxes because I have stuff that's so old that it might be desirable on eBay.
All
Like,
right. Well, at least you're going through it. That's great that you
oh,
know what I
it
mean?
feels
So,
great.
yeah.
Yeah, it's about time. I've lightened my
Hmm.
load.
Yeah. So that feels good. But you said you might be working until eight or be there, and so you could work through April.
Well, what I'm
And
doing
if,
is there's a place I might be able to that I think I can have
Mhm.
in outside of Detroit. It's downstate, and it's so. Um, but I started thinking about the logistics of it. Okay, so I'm doing this show, so I come back. It's going to take me a while to finish packing everything and move it, especially after I drive 7 hours and then come back and load up again and drive another 7 hours. So I'm thinking, and my first event is at the end of January in Florida. So I'm thinking, come back around the 15th of October, and if I can stay here, it gives me 3 months. You know,
Mhm.
one of the things is there's a tenant in this building that had a long-term lease, and she has sued them, the new
Uh-huh.
owners, and won. So she has a the reason why I say April is because the last lawsuit is in April. The
Hmm.
judge set an April date, so she can't leave, and they can't do what they want to do, which is put in a park.
Right.
They want to pave paradise and put in a parking lot.
Yeah, but
Oh.
you see, are you paying for rent?
Yeah,
Have you talked to a rent board
no
in
rent
your
board.
city? Yes.
No, there's no
They
rent board. It's not like that here. There's no rent
Okay.
boards.
All right. Well,
There's the judge, and then there's lawyers, and then there's you, and then
well,
and
have
then
you looked it up at all? I mean,
trust me, yes, yes. There's none of this. It doesn't matter. I don't have any leg to stand on. I
all
have a
right.
cousin. It's
In
Marquette,
Berkeley,
Michigan. It's like being in a little town, but not in
yeah.
California or not out
In
west. It's different in
in
Santa
in
Fe.
Berkeley, if you're over 65, they can't just like there's certain ways that they can get you out, but they have to give you a year notice and they have to actually move in themselves.
Well,
Um,
here it's there's a certain time when they can't kick you out based on the snow. So there's a date.
ah,
I don't know what that date
interesting.
is, but
Mm-hmm.
it's approaching. That's part of my plan.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
she
And you
wants to
don't have
stay.
to, yeah, just careful what you say.
She's the dentist, and she's up on the she's on the top floor, and in her lease, there's an option for her to renew for 5 more years, which means that they've been trying to get her out for 4, and I've just been going along with the ride because it's easy just to be here, and I don't pay that much. But for her to move her dental office and her and everything,
Yeah.
and they've tried to pull these things on her like the her compressors and all the stuff that you need, to run your machines is in the basement, the other side of the basement, behind me. And
Mhm.
they tried to close that down for her not to have access to it, and she won that lawsuit because they can't do that. And then because the elevator is through the side door where that goes in where behind which her compressors are. Anyway, an elevator, and they tried to close the path down, so they have to leave a path from the parking lot to the into the building to go up to for people to go up the stairs, the handicapped
Hmm.
people. So
Oh.
that's I think that's the reason why they haven't done what they said they were going to do because they were going to do it already.
Uh-huh.
They're not here, and I'm just taking it. Well, I want to take advantage of that. So
Right, right.
if they want to get
So,
me out of here, okay, this is how this works. They go to the judge, they get an eviction notice. You get served with an eviction notice, you get 30 days. At the end of the 30 days, if you're still there, you go back into court and really then you say, "Well, I can't find another place." Okay. So then you get an additional 90 days. So from when they start this, if they were going to play hardball, as soon as they start this, I have 120 days from the time they're going to start this, which
mhm.
gives me till April. So what I
Is any
December
of this age related though? Like in other words, if you're over a certain
no.
age, do you have different rights?
No, but you know what? That's an interesting perspective. I'm going to check that one out. I don't think so. I don't think
More,
it matters. But
it's just worth it just to check it out.
well, I don't want to fight them. It's
No,
uncomfortable.
no, of course not. But you want to just stall a little bit.
I That's right, and I just want to be able to get in and out of this space. You know,
Hmm.
because they're putting in a park. There's a parking lot, but it's a one floor, and they want to do a
So
two-story.
they're getting rid of housing at a time when
No, no,
housing
no,
is.
no. They're not get. Oh, well, it's more like office space. I live in the studio. It's not like the studio's not in
Uh-huh.
my house. It's in a building with professionals, and I'm on in the
Got it.
basement. I'm in the bottom,
Mhm.
and
Oh, I
it
see. So it's a commercial space essentially, so you
yeah.
don't really have the rights that you would if it was a residential building.
Except that I've been here for a long time in
Right.
the
But
studio.
commercial, different, totally different
Here's the
laws, and of
thing.
course, state by state.
I moved in here because I was traveling a lot doing art fairs. So why have a house that I'm only in for 6 months and then a studio I'm only in for 6 months. So, uh, I moved in here. It isn't exactly the most ideal situation, but it's cheap and,
Hmm.
and the view is really great. And I have my own entrance. It's a lot different than being in a city and stuff. So I kind of got lazy about it. I kind of took advantage of like,
They call it the golden handcuffs.
well, yeah, whatever,
Well, I mean, Eric and I were in our apartment for 27 years
yeah.
and 450 square feet and a separate studio, so double renters.
Uh-huh.
And the landlord died, and then it was bought by a hedge fund. And the hedge
Oh, they're
fund,
kind-hearted.
what?
They're kind-hearted. You
Well,
said facetiously.
yeah, more so, they did stupid things like they'd get a plumber from like an hour away when we were in Oakland, California, a city. And the lockbox in the front, the keys would be all over. Like they were totally incompetent.
Hmm.
And um, it just, became more uncomfortable for everyone. And the manager who he was there for over 30 years and, we all loved him and he couldn't take it anymore. So he left. Like he just couldn't take it because the disorganization, the incompetence, all of that. And then, so he used to make sure that the apartments were rented to people who were like quiet. It was not a party building or anything like
Hmm.
that, and
Hmm.
and no insulation, so you could really hear your neighbors. So that was important. And he also made sure the building was safe and uh, knew who should be parking in the few parking spots in the back.
Uh-huh.
And anyway, so when Eric and I moved out, we were there for 27 years. One of our neighbors who moved out, she was there for 37 years. And
Hmm.
it just became a different environment and, not as pleasant to be in, and we had rent control. So I'm just saying the golden handcuffs, it made it easy to stay there. And that's the reason we were able to stay in the Bay Area because we had rent control.
Hmm.
But I mean, the houses in my neighborhood, little 800 square foot houses, some didn't even have parking. We're going for $1.7 million.
Hmm.
Kind of, they would have been built as working class houses in the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
This was a bank at one time.
oh,
And
sounds,
all the spaces have vaults in them.
oh, that is
Mi-
very cool.
Mine doesn't have a door. It's just a place, but that's where I store my Place supplies.
Uh-huh. That is really
No, in
cool.
there. Yeah. But all the
There
other
was
stores.
there was an
Yeah.
ice cream shop in Cambridge, Massachusetts that had a vault. Like you could sit and eat your ice cream in the vault. I don't know
Cool.
if it's still there, but yeah, very cool. Um, and there was a place I taught in Minneapolis, and it used to be a casket factory, and there was a vault there too. And it still had the original door to
Hmm.
the vault. So anyway, uh, back to art fairs.
So, hey, Larry,
Yeah.
did you get rid of everybody else besides these people?
No,
Or
nobody's checking their email.
or it didn't show up?
Last week, after the meeting, Teresa asked me, "Did you start the meetings yet?" Nobody's
Oh,
checking their emails, but
Is
that's
it
all right.
going out in
No, I'm
spam?
talking about there were some people, people here last week
I
that
know, I know what you're asking.
okay, all right.
mhm.
We're
So
not going to go into that.
here's the thing, people who are in business, like sometimes I'll email someone and they're, let's say, a person in business, and um they don't answer their emails. I mean, what if I was emailing saying, yes, I'd like to buy 20 of something? I mean, I think that if you have email, you need to look at it. If not, get rid of your email, you know?
Yeah, you have to look.
And some things fall through the cracks for sure.
I mean, how are you going to catch that letter from the Social Security Administration telling you that you're not eligible for Medicare anymore?
Right. Well, sorry about that, but
That's also I'm being facetious again.
oh,
No, I didn't get that. I needed to
but
deal with them actually this week, and I did get a
mhm,
note from them today because everybody has their own space on there. So I was a little concerned, but I didn't think there was any reason why I wouldn't get whatever benefits I get. So I looked, and all they
mhm,
did was welcome me to the Social Security Administration. This is what I did last week. I needed, I tried to get my renew my driver's license online. In Michigan, you can do everything online.
mhm,
So, but you have to answer all these questions, and they won't let you you have to make an appointment to go there. Well, I needed to do that because I don't have an ID, one of those IDs for
Real,
oh,
flying. Huh?
real ID.
Real ID. I didn't have one, but I wanted one.
yeah, I
You
don't
know,
have one.
well,
I don't
you
either.
don't actually, as it turns out, you don't really need one, but
Well, only if you're going to
you have,
fly, then you need a
you
passport.
have a
So that,
passport, which I have.
although actually for certain people, they have to um, live their lives carrying their passport and a real ID probably is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yes,
like Jack Reacher.
Today.
He carries around an expired passport.
Oh, but
I carry my
expired won't,
passport with me.
I don't
I
think a
have an
passport
expired
will,
passport.
I don't think that's going to work with like ICE. You know what I'm saying?
Doesn't have my same
Well,
address anymore.
it won't work with ICE because they hire people that don't know how to read, so it wouldn't do them any good.
Well, maybe that's the case. But the point is that, there are people who have to carry these things with them all the time. And I don't have a real ID. When I went to Texas for a show, I brought my passport because I don't know. I mean,
Why? Do they think that anything outside of Texas is a foreign country?
well, if you're from New Mexico, they think you're in a foreign country, actually.
If they
Although
don't read,
since
yeah.
no, it's a nationwide thing. Our driver's licenses literally say New Mexico, USA. You look at any other driver's license in the country, and it'll just say the name of the state.
No, really? Is that significant?
Is that like the Gulf of America?
No,
Never.
no, this is actually
I
real. This is
I
actually real.
never I will never call it the Gulf of America.
So, but the thing is, people in the US, they do not understand that New Mexico is actually a state, and I think it was like the 47th state. to come into the nation, but I could be wrong on that number. But I remember when I realized that it was like I don't know, probably when Eric and I were getting our driver's licenses changed in our, here and license plates, and I saw it said USA after the name of the state. Where, you look at any other license here, and it does not. So
So, okay, so to get back to the story, the only way
yeah.
you had to answer, you had to have these documents to actually just to make an appointment. And one of them was you need to have your Social Security number or something that has your Social Security number on it, like a
Hmm.
check stub. Well, I didn't have that. And it's a piece of cardboard that I probably lost when my wallet fell into the water when I was 20 years old. I've never had to have it. So, so I went to I went online to the SSA, Social Security Administration,
Hmm.
and ordered one, and they're sending it to me. It's probably
Hmm.
in the mail. Anyway, so I'd actually go there and fill out a form there, um,
Right.
because it wouldn't let me get past it. I didn't have any of these things. As it turns out, it opened at 9 a.m. on Monday morning, and unlike every place else, it's not that crowded. So
Hmm.
I was just going to call them and say, I don't have this. You're going to stop me. Instead, I just drove over there because there was a thing that
Yeah,
said less than normal traffic. So I walked in and I said, "Do you have an appointment?" No, no. So okay,
Oh,
go see. There was a thing open. There was nobody in line. You go anywhere else, and like
that's
it's two
great.
hours. Yeah.
That's great. But no, Social Security, they take that very seriously. I mean, I know,
No,
like I couldn't even change. No, that's why you had to go in though. Like I couldn't change my mother's address, and I was
yeah.
power of attorney.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I had to have her on the phone to change it. But the second time I had to change it, I never could. There's no, because I was not her legal guardian either, and there was no way to change her address. So I stopped getting her mail, and this is when she was not able to on the phone, give them
Yeah.
her address. So I mean,
They're so afraid of the very, 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 very small percentage of people that might scam them that they make it really difficult for everybody else. There's nothing logical
well,
behind that.
well, there is logic because they're trying to prevent fraud. Because you could be, it's if you're taking care of somebody who's
Yes.
on Social Security and they're incapacitated mentally, I
Hmm.
mean, there's a lot that can go bad.
That's true.
So I do understand it,
Okay, good
and
point.
and so um, once somebody dies, of course, there's always a body, so there's that. But I wouldn't be surprised if, I mean, fraud for Social Security is very low, but I could see how people could get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
you know, I mean, it's different if it's, you're an individual who's, um, you know,
Yeah.
of this conscious world.
Yeah. So listen, so I walk in there and I'm prepared for a battle, and they said, "Oh no, I took everything." I mean, um, so I had my passport with me, and they said, "Oh no, all you need is your passport." So I showed them that. So now I
Good.
can now I can fly
Right.
because all you need to
Because that,
do is carry you get the license with the thing on it, and then you carry your passport, and
right.
allegedly, I'm not worried about leaving the country. I'd be more worried about getting back in.
Yeah, well, that's
In
true.
these days, you know.
Yeah. So what are you applying to this year?
Uh, really, I'm not applying to anything except for a few Florida shows, and I'm
Right.
hoping
Given that you're,
what I'm going to do
um,
will get resolved. I don't see going to Texas unless I get into Fort Worth.
mhm.
You know,
So you applied to that?
well, it's due in a month, or
Oh, it is? Oh,
I'm putting some of those things off because I want to know before that I'm actually going to have a place where I can work before I start committing
Hmm.
$50 at a crack, to get in. So so I'm going to do Florida. I'll do 4 shows in Florida. Um, I didn't apply to, it's due tomorrow, Winter Park. If I do that, that's another 4 weeks, 3 weeks.
Hmm.
I don't know if I want to do that.
I
So
think that's the one I applied to. I have no idea, but
yeah, if you're doing
I,
one, it'd be that or Coconut Grove would be the two.
mhm.
Um, and then you would add something around it
Well, I would fly
for the
there
one.
if I were to, yeah, if I got in,
That
which,
raises your overhead.
if you think about it, with certain distances, flying is actually cheaper than driving.
Oh yeah, because of gas.
Well, not so much gas, but like, getting there, right? Where are you
Yeah,
going to stay along the way and
yeah.
all that?
But you bring your own food. Isn't it hard to bring your own food if you're flying?
That is true, but I do have a little bit of a workaround.
I love this conversation. This part of the conversation. Because I think about bringing food with me, and I never do it, so I'm at
Well,
mercy at what's around us.
I have a cooler that can plug into the car and then it can plug into wherever I'm staying. Like
Yeah.
there's an adapter for that.
Uh-huh.
And I also do a bit of cooking before leaving, so I've got a bunch of food in the first place. But when I fly, I have to pack differently. So I have a cooler that packs flat, and that cooler actually acts as a cushion for some of my display pieces. So I take out the
Oh, cool.
foam I have, and I use this cooler, and then the hard part is getting you'd think it's easy getting like one of those little blue ice pack things.
Yeah.
Um, and sometimes you just can't find them. Hardware stores often will have them, but
Yeah.
um, so once I have a cooler and a way to keep things cold, well, then of course I if I have room, I also bring some food with me. Like I just um, any space that there is.
Yeah.
Uh, but anyway, so yeah, I mean, I definitely like when I've done St. Louis and flown, I definitely spend much more money on food um than with driving. I mean, I barely spend money on food unless there's a place I want to go out to eat at,
Hmm.
um so it's like if it's a one or 2 day drive, um it's well with a 2 day I could fly, but but Florida is, I don't know, I'm gonna say it's like 33 hours or something,
Yeah.
and that's a lot of time out of the studio. Um, and I know Southwest, I think they fly to Orlando, but then you have to rent a car. So there's
Hmm.
those things. Um, and anyway, I'll see what happens.
I've been an interesting thing because I'm doing these 2 shows, but all I'm doing is taking work that I made a long time ago, or not a long time ago, but I mean
Hmm.
this year. But I'm not paying any attention to any of the details or anything. And today I'm going, oh, I got to leave in a week.
Oh,
So I mean, I've done this so much I can do it in my sleep, but I'm thinking, well, I got to do this, this, and this, and this, and I got to take my van to get an oil change and make sure
yeah,
I have clothes, all this stuff that
yeah.
it's been kind of fun not having to think about it at all,
Well,
not
that
doing
is
it.
true. That I agree. I mean, I do miss the travel this year, but it's true. You don't have to like pre-plan all those things. And for me, that would also be like the day before cooking food or making salads or whatever, which ends up being a ton of work too.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not taking it seriously on this trip, and I like that because I always took it seriously, and it's like for me, it's just a little cash flow, so I'm not expecting much. And hey, if I sold everything I had in the first show, that'd be great, and I turn around and cancel the second one. and come back home, which wouldn't be a bad thing.
Hmm.
Selling everything would not be a bad thing. So,
Has that happened to you ever?
uh, it has a couple times in my
Ah.
career, and it surprised the shit out of me.
Mhm.
I mean, it's amazing when you when you go somewhere and you don't expect it, and it just happens.
That is amazing. I mean,
It
I don't think
is
that would ever happen to me, but
really.
yeah, it's just not kind of the nature of it probably. And but I have seen ceramic artists sell out for, or have very little left. Except,
I'm not making any of those kinds of pieces. And let me tell you something.
mhm.
After looking at, there was a whole big to-do on one of the Facebook sites about people getting into the top shows, and somebody
Oh
called
yeah,
them the cool kids, So then,
right.
which actually, that's what I've been calling them, the cool kids, for a long time, but it's kind of tongue in cheek because I think
Hmm.
I'm like not one of the cool kids. Like even in school, I wasn't one of the cool kids. I was younger. I'd like to be one of the cool kids, but
Oh,
you
there's
know,
really right.
and my definition of the cool kids are the ones that get into every, Cherry Creek and every year, and Fort Worth, and now it's like St. Louis, and then go to the Plaza, and come back, and so but they
I
had a list. They had the list of
mhm.
all
Wait,
the
excuse me. Just quickly, I may have to leave to the meeting soon because I have somebody coming at 3, which is now, but I just so you
okay.
know. Okay, go ahead. Anyway.
So you're gonna wait until they come and then take off. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I'd be doing the same thing, except you know, I'll I'm just gonna watch the baseball game tonight. It's do or die for the Tigers. Anyway, uh, did Oscar hear that? Oscar's been giving me all kinds of trouble because he's a Cincinnati Reds fan, and the Reds are playing really well, and the Mets have died, and it looks like Cincinnati could get into the playoffs. The Tigers have been horrible, and they're playing Cleveland, and if they don't win 2 out of 3, they're it's the biggest collapse in the history of baseball. But
So who
anyway,
are the Tigers? What?
Detroit.
Oh, oh, oh.
I grew up in
But
Detroit. I'm a Detroit fan of
yeah.
all Detroit sports. Anyway, um, so what the hell am I talking about? What was I talking about? I got off on a tangent.
That's all right.
Don't get
Let's
old. This
see.
is what happens when you get old.
Uh,
So
no comments, Barry. No comments.
listen, I I can't. I see. I'm feeling really good because the I watched the football game last night, and you have to be a real masochist to be a fan of the Detroit Lions because they haven't won anything since 1957. So,
Oh.
of which I kind of remember a little. So, if you're a Lions fan, that's really, so they were great. They were really good. So that was fun. So now I'm in a better mood. So now I think the Tigers are going to win tonight.
Yeah, he was with the crabby all weekend long. Don't talk to me. I hate that.
This comes from the guy that when I'm following Cincinnati now and kind of rooting for them, and they'd have like a 3-game losing streak, and Oscar would go, "Oh, this is so typical," and I'd be telling him, "No, no, they're gonna be good. They'll be all right." So it's funny that it's now reversed. I just want you wouldn't know that because you're not privy to our little conversations. But now I didn't answer the phone yesterday and the day before when he called to gloat or to give me a hard time because I knew I knew what he was gonna do. So it's kind of funny.
But Cincinnati is not the Cubs, Oscar.
What?
Cincinnati is not the Cubs.
So,
So what's going on there?
hey, I grew up a Cincinnati Red fan, and I will be a Cincinnati Red fan until the day I die.
Ah, okay.
Plain and simple.
Hmm.
You can stack them all like this. Huh.
Hey, while I was cleaning up, I found my my ticket stubs to the 1984 World Series, all three games in Detroit. I went to all three games, and I can sell these as a set for $80 on eBay. That's what it's going for.
Wow, that's crazy,
I know.
don't you think? Isn't
Yeah.
it crazy?
Uh, Here, you gotta check this out. If you notice behind me, I have a light box. Okay. So I had some stuff that when my parents passed away, I just put stuff in boxes and grabbed
Excuse
it.
me, I'm sorry, I do have to go. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay,
You
bye.
see this?
Mhm.
You see these?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
It's two monkeys playing instruments. Oh, did she leave already? Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
anyway, two monkeys and somebody has these very same ones up on eBay for $150 as a
Wow.
pair. So I think if I put it up for 120 and take it and say or best offer, to me they're like 50-cent trinkets. So
Well,
Okay,
that should
I'm going to
sell
go
enough
because
of those things and it's fund your next trip.
hey, it's kind of fun.
well, I need to go. I need to load the band. I think I finished what I can. I need to go and find some things upstairs.
Where are you going?
What?
Where are you going?
Nothing. I just redoing the back of the band so I can fit the new pieces, and I just finished the cabinets.
Yeah, you just got home.
No, I'm being home all this time.
Uh,
I was just working on this.
I mean, weren't you somewhere last weekend?
No, last weekend I was in town, so I just wanted to make it more efficient.
It looks good.
Yeah, I need to secure the stuff now, but it's about to rain, so I want to close it up, put everything inside, and then I will figure out how to put everything in place, secure. But the heavy stuff is done already.
Yeah.
So,
Let's see. Is it 5 o'clock yet?
yep,
Yeah.
5 or 4.
Ah,
It is. It's five after five.
Okay, I see you guys later.
So we can all leave.
Bye.
Yeah, school's out.
School's out for summer.
All right. See you guys
all
next
right.
Yeah.
week.
Oh, well, listen,
Hopefully.
wait. I won't be here for the next 3 weeks
Okay.
or
Oh,
4 weeks.
Then we'll invite your friends.
Oh, please. Oh, that's really funny.
All right. Take care,
No
Barry.
comment.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Katie.